back to Mama Needs a Goal. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're new here, welcome. So friends, if you've been following me for a while, then you know that my son is off to college in less than 2 weeks. I know, it is so crazy. And if you've also been following me, then you know that my anxiety has been through the through the roof for the last couple months. And you know, I was a hot mess. I think you guys may have picked up on that. I was a hot mess. And, you know, I'm just a planner. I like to know about things ahead of time. I like to plan for things. I like to organize. I need checklists. I need goals set. You know, it's just the way I am wired. So it has been a difficult few months for me. And with that said, I realized that I really needed to do something to get my anxiety in check there. So I did what I do best, and that is research. Yes, research. I went out on the internet and I read a ton of blogs. I read a bunch of articles. I watched some vlogs. There's a lot of people out there on YouTube that document their journey, and it was very, very helpful. I also reached out to family and friends, like parents that already have children in college. I asked for any kind of tips, helpful information, anything that I could think of or anything they could think of. I also joined some parent groups with kids that are going off to college. I was asking, you know, strangers in those groups. You know, I was getting a lot of information, quite a bit of information. And I got to be honest with you, some of it was great information, some of it not so great, but I was able to go through it all, and it really truly did help me focus more in my anxiety. It was a big stress release for me doing that research. And I know a lot of you out there, you may not be as crazy as I am, but I know a lot of you out there are in a similar situation to where you are worried and not knowing. It's the unknown and sending our babies off to be independent for the first time. It's really difficult and it's emotional. So I thought I would share with you the things that I have learned. And as I mentioned, it is a ton of information. So I will or have been sharing it with you in my series of heading off to college. I have 3 videos total in that series. So the first video that I already have out that's part of this series is 10 important things to consider before your child leaves for college. And the other one is what my son is taking to college, the real dorm essential list. And in that video, I shared the things that I've already purchased, plan to purchase, and I also include a link for a printout of the real dorm essentials, because honestly, friends, those lists that are floating out there, they were created by retailers. They want you to buy their stuff, so half of the stuff on there they don't need. So this is the 3rd video in the series, and today's video is just helpful tips for packing and tips for a smooth move-in day. I did want to mention though, even though if your child's already left for college, please go back and watch the 10 important things to consider before your child leaves, because there is some really important information in there that you can still do now even though they have left. So I do think that's an important one that you will want to watch. So let's jump right into this video. I need to make it short and sweet so you're not listening to me talk forever. So by now, most of you probably have already bought all your dorm essentials, but if you haven't and you need ideas, check that video out. But before you decide what to pack or what your child's gonna pack, have that one last conversation with them. And that conversation is less is more. Yes, less is more. You want to suggest to them that they pack as if they're going away for a 6 to 8 week trip. So if you plan on to visit them, or if they plan on coming home during a holiday weekend, or not spring break, fall break, or winter break, I should say, remind them that space is limited in their dorm. They're not going to have a lot of storage space. So just let them know that those clothes for the winter, those sweatshirts and the coats and the boots, they are bulky and they're going to take up a lot of space. So just remind them, hey, look, pack for 6 to 8 weeks. When we come to visit, have the stuff that you want for the winter already out laying on your bed, so when we come to visit, we'll grab it and bring it down, and then we'll just bring home with us some of your summer clothes that you currently have there. And if they're coming home for winter break, they can bring the stuff home with them and then just head on back with their winter gear. And that way it really truly will help, because those dorms are really small. But just remind them one more time that less is more. So now let's move on to what you will pack their items in. So now is the time to decide what you will be using to pack the items in. I personally narrowed it down to 2 options, and those 2 options are the extra large blue IKEA bags and the clear Rubbermaid storage containers. What I did, I ended up doing a pros and cons with those 2 items so I could decide which way I wanted to go. And after making that list, yes, I know my list making, I ended up deciding to go with the blue IKEA bags. And I'll give you the reasons behind that, so this might help you a little bit with your decision making as well. So the bags obviously are soft, they're thin, they're going to be easier to stuff, and they'll expand a little bit. They're going to be easy to carry with the handles. I can throw 2 on my shoulder. Also, when we're packing the car, you can kind of shove it in a little bit more and fit more in and kind of squish it a little bit, especially if I have bags full of clothes and towels. If I have the Rubbermaid containers, they're that hard plastic, and once they're in there, you can't squish a little bit more in. You're just not gonna be able to do it. And also, when I'm packing the car, the Rubbermaid containers, they're not straight up and down, they kind of come up an angle. So when you're stacking them and putting them in the car, you're gonna have gaps in between each container, and I feel like that's just valuable space in the car that you're gonna need. And with the bags, you can just smush them, is that a word? Smush them together, and you're not going to be able to do that with the containers. Now, however, the containers will be easy if you are moving in and you have like a hand truck, stacking them on top of each other and loading it. So that is a definite pro of that. But like I said, for us, I ended up choosing the blue IKEA bags, and I thought I would just share some of my thinking or my thought process why we ended up choosing that. But honestly, the storage containers would work too if you needed extra storage. You could stack 2 of them and put them underneath of the bed. You can have clothes in one, towels in another, food in one. They would stack in a closet if the closet is big enough. So you definitely could use them for storage as well as just using them to pack and move. And if you don't need them, you can stack them inside one another and then just use the top one as a storage container and then just push it under the bed or in the closet. So they really truly can be handy. I just felt that the blue bags were just going to work best for us. So as far as packing your items, we're going to be using those blue storage bags. But you also want to kind of think outside of the box as well. And what I mean by that is, for instance, you want to use the non-traditional packing items, such as a trash can, a laundry basket. We purchased a 3-drawer Sterilite, I think it's called Sterilite, storage container, and I am using that to pack stuff in. I am going to utilize every possible space or item that I can just to pack inside, just to give us as much room in the car as I possibly can. I want to save space, and I think that will help a lot. And another thing to help with saving space is to take items out of their original package. For instance, we have a stick vacuum cleaner. I'm going to be removing that from the box. We have like 2 surge protectors. I've already removed those from the boxes. And even his snacks, he has like the meal plan, the unlimited meal plan, but I'm sending him with a bunch of his favorite snacks. And I had packed them in one of the drawers of the Sterilite organizer. And I started removing like the surge protector from the box and all and put it in the drawer, and I was like, wow, this is saving me a little bit of space. So I went back up to that top drawer and I removed all the snacks from the boxes that they were in, and I am not joking, I had almost a half a drawer empty. The drawer was filled, and then I had like a half a drawer that was empty because I removed all the packaging. So consider removing all the packaging from your items, and I think that will help save a lot of space as well. And then of course, think outside the box and use those non-traditional items. You know, in his trash can, I have the trash bags, and I have some of these storage or baskets that are going to go into the drawers and on one of the shelves, and they can easily get cracked and broken if I put them in the blue bag. So I put them in the trash can. The trash can's metal, so it, you know, they're not going to get damaged. And then, like I said, I put everything else that I could fit into the drawers. His shower caddy is a zip shower caddy, and I put a bunch of stuff in the shower caddy. His laundry basket, I'm filling that up with items. Also, the towels and the bedding, they are all coming out of their original package, and they are going to be washed because I want to make sure he's not doing laundry his first day there. So just think outside of the box when it comes to packing and removing items from their package. So now let's talk about actually packing. You want to pack like items together. So for instance, if I have a bag or a container for kitchen items, I'm going to pack all those items for the kitchen. So I have one of the drawers. He is going to have a micro fridge there. He's not going to be cooking because he has the unlimited meal plan, but I am sending him with a couple storage, or not storage, a couple food storage containers, one plate, a bowl, a mug, and a silverware set. He has a Keurig, and I'm sending him with supplies for his Keurig. I was able to fit all that stuff in one of those drawers, so I didn't have to worry about it. All his kitchen stuff except for the Keurig is in that drawer, even a little small bottle of dish soap that I bought at the Dollar Tree. So everything is together. His bath towels and his hand towels and the bath mat and his shower caddy, all that stuff's going to be packaged together. Also, his bedding. I am going to put all his bedding in a bag together. And speaking of the bedding, one of the suggestions I have when you're packing the bedding is to pack it how you're going to make the bed. So for instance, we got him the gel mattress cover or pad. That I'm going to leave in the box, and the moment we arrive, I'm going to take it out of the box because that's going to be huge, and I want it to kind of like just open up a little bit, and if there's any smells, just get the smells out of it. But that I will be leaving in the bag. But how I'm going to pack his bag is he's going to be taking, I believe, 3 bed pillows, and I am going to put them in a vacuum sealed bag and shrink that bad boy down, put that in the bottom of the blue tote. Then I'm going to put, or actually the first thing I'm going to put in the bag are the pillowcases and the pillow sham. Then comes the vacuum sealed pillows. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in his throw blanket, then the comforter, then the top sheet, then the fitted sheet. And I bet a lot of you are saying, what, a top sheet? My kid doesn't use a top sheet. I realize a lot of people don't anymore, but we still do. Then the fitted sheet, and then the mattress pad or cover to go over the mattress pad. So when I unpack, I will automatically put my little gel mattress pad down. And then when I open that bag, the topper, or the protector, I should say, will go on top of the pad. Then the fitted sheet comes right out on the bed. The top sheet right out on the bed. The comforter right on the bed. Then his throw blanket right on the bed. Then his pillows, I'll let the air out of it, take the pillows out, grab the pillowcases, boom, 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 done. This is going to make your day just go so much smoother if everything's packaged together like that and you're not digging through which is this. Oh, I'm flying hands everywhere. Hope that's not distracting. So it's just going to make the process go so much faster when I do get there and unpack. Okay, so now everything is packed and you're ready to go and get it in the car, right? No. I really strongly suggest labeling your bags, containers, boxes, items, whatever you have. Just label everything. Now, my son's school, when we have a day and a time that we're to arrive. When we arrive, we pull right up front, open the back, and they're going to have volunteers waiting for you, and they're going to be helping you unpack and just taking everything up to his room. So I want to make sure his name is on everything. And even if you don't have this help, you may be unloading your car and have to kind of leave things. You may take it up to the hallway and have to leave it in the hallway, and there may be other people moving in, and you don't want things to get mixed up. So like, for instance, his tower fan and his vacuum cleaner, I'm going to be putting labels on that. They're going to be open and just sitting there, and this way there'll be no mix up and you won't have to worry about it. So I'm just taking some masking tape or some painter's tape, and I'm writing his name, his building name, his floor, and his room number on there. And I'm also going to put what is in the bag. So for instance, if it's a bag of shirts, those shirts are going to have the hangers in there. So I'm going to have shirts and hangers on there. The bedding, I will have bedding in there. So when we arrive and start unpacking, I can hand him that bag that has shirts in it and say, Zach, here are your shirts with the hangers. Put them on hangers and hang them up. This is the bag that has the bedding. I'm going to make the bed. I don't have to look through the bags and try to figure out what's in there or whatever. So I really strongly suggest putting your name on everything, just in case things get left in the hall or get mixed up. This way there's no confusion whatsoever. So now let's talk about what you need to have or do for a smooth move-in day. The first two things are discussions. And you're thinking, what? Discussions. So the first one you want to discuss with your child before you leave is who's going to pay for what if you need to make a trip to Target or Walmart when you get there. I know you're thinking, what? Oftentimes, and this is something that has come up when I was speaking with parents, and you get there, they're all unpacked, and then they find they need this or they need that. Well, often we have a budget. This is what our budget is. We only have an extra $100 in the budget to buy stuff, and then you get to the store and your child's like, I need this and I need that and I need this, and they're putting it in the cart, and then you get up to pay for it, and you're looking at $300-400, and you were only planning on spending $100. So have this discussion with your child before you leave. Say, look, this is what I've got to spend, or this is what I'm willing to purchase if we need it. Anything outside of that, you're going to be responsible for. Just make it very, very clear up front before you leave who's going to be paying for what and who's responsible for what. You don't want to get to the store, have a cart full of stuff, and get up to the cash register, and then your child and you end up in an argument in front of the cashier. Emotions are going to be very high that day. You're going to be tired and cranky, and you just don't need that. You just don't need it. So just have that discussion right up front. So the second discussion you want to have is how involved your child wants you to be in setting up their room. Now, if you've been following me, you know I have a passion for organizing and decorating. Some may call it an obsession or an addiction, but I get so excited. It's just what I love to do. And I know myself that I'm going to want to be, take over and do everything and set his room up the way I think it should be set up. One of the things I learned, and this actually was part of his school's, they had like a Zoom meeting about moving in, and they mentioned that the room is already set up to optimize the air conditioning and heating unit. So for the circulation, so it's like the best setup, but most likely the kids will end up rearranging it anyway. But they asked us not to move things around, just let them get moved in. So that is the plan to do. And even if I did move things around and thought it was better here or there, I can promise you they will end up moving that furniture 2 or 3 more times after you leave. It's going to happen. So don't worry about it. But honestly, you want to have this discussion with your child and ask them, how involved can you be? I already spoke to my son about it. I'm like, bud, you know I love decorating and organizing, and you know when I get there I'm gonna be like, ah, and he just, yeah, Mom, I know. He said, Mom, I don't care, you can do whatever you want to do, it's fine with me, just take control. However, when we get there, or I get there, there's a good possibility he may be really excited, and let me back up. He did buy 2 things for his wall that he purchased himself on Amazon, and they're in his room. They're not even with all the stuff in the dining room piled up. And I know he's going to want to hang those up right away. So already I'm getting that feel that he wants to be involved. So it's not like, oh, Mom, do whatever. Even though he said it to me, I'm already getting that cue that, yeah, I may need to step back. So just read your child when you get there. If they tell you, yes, you can do it, just step back a little bit and read it. If you're finding they're getting a little cranky or upset, argumentative, whatever, just step back. Just remember to bring your patience. You're going to need it that day. Trust me, you will need it. But just take cues from your child. You know, don't insist that they do it this way or that way. Don't worry about it being perfect or beautiful. If you have a daughter, you know, they're going to change it around. Just let them do what they want to do. This is the first day of their independence. This is not your home anymore. This is their home. Let them guide you, let them lead the way. Just step back and just take cues from them. And you know, it'll be hard, trust me, I know, but just let them lead, take cues from them. So next is create a move-in bag or list. And what I mean by that is this is kind of for when you move in. It's items that you're going to need like immediately, or that's going to come in handy, and you really don't have a spot where you're going to pack them. So I'm calling it my move-in bag and list. And what I'm putting in that is, I'll just go down the list with you. The first item, I am not personally taking this, but I did want to put it out there for some of you that may need it, is a hand truck. As I mentioned, we're going to have helpers. You may not, so a hand truck may come in handy, and it may seem a little excessive, but keep in mind that your child will be in school for 4 years. They're going to be going to college, coming home for break or the end of the semester, going back again. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. And if you have more than one child, this hand truck will pay for itself. Also, if you are using the hard totes to pack items in, they stack nicely, and a hand truck would be perfect to help move those. It'll be a lot easier to move them. So that's something I'm not personally taking, but it can be something that I think will be helpful for many of you. So another item is a doorstop. I purchased one at the Dollar Tree. The reason for that is his dorm room automatically locks when you go in and out of the door. There's only going to be one card key access that he will have, and if it's the 3 of us going and we're in and out, it's going to be a pain in the you-know-what. So we can prop the door open. Plus, it's going to help with some circulation, because I know it's going to be really hot that day as well. So a doorstop will definitely come in handy. I do know Dollar Store has the larger big ones, and then they have a smaller 2-pack one, so you can get them inexpensively. I also purchased a toolkit off of Amazon. It was just a small toolkit. I think I paid like around $18. It's in my dorm essential list, so I have it in there if you're interested. We're going to need that to put a couple items together. So instead of just bringing a few of my husband's tools or his big tool bag, I just thought I'm going to buy a small tool bag that has what I'll need to put the things together, and then I can leave it there, and that way if he needs it for anything, he'll have it. It'll come in handy. It's not going to take up a ton of space. Also, a tape measure. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to need to get some curtains, so I thought I'd take a tape measure, and that way if I do need them, I can measure the window. And also, I'm not 100% sure if he has a door on his closet, so we may end up needing to get a tension rod and some type of curtain as well. So I wanted to have a tape measure to be able to take down the measurements, and of course pencil and paper or a small little pad. I'm going to take some tape, command hooks, mounting putty, whatever your child's going to use to hang things or allowed to hang use to hang things, scissors or a box cutter. I have to take my reading glasses to read the instructions on how to put things together, so don't forget those reading glasses. A marker, a phone charger, because most likely my phone may be dead by then, some zip ties, cleaning supplies. I plan, that's going to be my first thing I do. The moment I go in, the first thing I'm taking out of my bag are the cleaning supplies, and I am wiping everything down, including the mattress, disinfecting everything. Also, paper towels. I'm going to bring a roll of toilet paper. He's taking extra toilet paper because he's a toilet paper snob, but I'm going to have a roll of toilet paper in my bag just in case, because I'm not really sure with everybody in and out the dorms and all the parents and maybe siblings and stuff, we may go through toilet paper in the dorms really quickly. So I just wanted to have some backup just in case. A trash bag. Even though you're taking as much as you can out of the packages before you pack, there still will be items that will be in the packages that, like, the things you need to put together. So I'm going to take probably 2 large trash bags with me. And also I'm going to take a change of clothes and deodorant for each of us, because it's going to be very, very hot and miserable. So we're going to be sweaty and stinky. So I want to change before I leave. And then the last thing is a cooler with water and just some protein snacks in there. I'm sure we're going to be hungry because I know we'll be up bright and early. And then we're going to probably want to grab a bite to eat later in the day. So just something to hold us over until lunch. So that is what I'm taking in my move-in bag. So now it's time for the goodbyes. Oh my, the goodbyes. Oh, the dreaded goodbye. So before we say our goodbyes, the first thing I want to do is freshen up. I want to get in there and just quickly change clothes and put on some deodorant. Most likely your child's school is going to have something planned for them later that afternoon. So you don't want to hang around. And honestly, you know, the moment that you leave, that's when your child starts his independence, you know? You're going to want to keep your shorts. You're going to want to keep your goodbyes short and sweet. You don't want to overwhelm them. You want to do your best not to cry in front of them, even though I can't even hold it together doing this video for some reason. I do plan on taking a picture frame with the family in it and the dog. And I'm going to hide it like in a drawer or something, like his snack drawer or something, and then he'll eventually come across it the first few days he's there. I'm going to write a little note card, just a small little note card, not a really long note, because I don't want to overwhelm him or get him upset or make him homesick. Just to let him know that I'm proud of him, and no matter what he does, whatever his successes or fails are, it doesn't matter. That just, you know, embarking on this journey and, you know, working hard, and like I said, whether he, you know, excels or fails, it doesn't matter. He's trying, and that's what's most important. And I just want him to know that. I want him to know how much I love him. And just let him know that I'm a phone call away. I plan just to give him a huge hug and not cry. Tell him that I love him and just run for the car. And I'll probably be crying all the way home. But, you know, there are babies. There are babies. And it's scary for them. It's scary for us. But we need to try to, you know, be strong for them. Give me a sec. Sorry about that. I didn't know it was going to hit me that bad. I keep saying, So I do plan on putting together like a little welcome package for him prior to us leaving. And then what I'm going to do is when I get back home, I'm going to go ahead and mail it off to him. So by the end of the week, he should receive that package. So he'll have a nice little welcome to college package from home at the end of his first week. I'm just going to put in some little treats and goodies, and I don't know what else I'll be putting in there. I don't know. We'll see. But I do plan on doing that for him. So friends, that is it. You know, my biggest suggestion is, and I've said it a ton of times already, is to remember to bring your patients, because it's going to be a crazy, crazy stressful day for everybody. Your son may, or your son or daughter may, you know, ignore you that day because they don't know how to handle it. So don't take it personally. Just, you know, give them all the love and hugs and kisses and goodbyes that you can quickly. Just let them know that you're there for them. Just take cues from your child and just tell them that you love them. That's it. It's all we can do. And then go home and pray that they make good choices. So that is it, friends. If you have any questions, please leave them below. As I mentioned earlier, I will link the other 2 videos in the description box as well. If I don't have the answers to your questions, I certainly can try to find them out for you. If you have anything to add to this video that you think would be helpful or informative, please go ahead and put it in the comments section. I'm sure my subscribers would love to have that additional information, as well as myself. So friends, thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, as it does greatly help me out. Also, check me out over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest, as well, as I am active on those sites too. And friends, I wish all of your children the best of luck on their new independence college journey, and I wish you much patience and luck as well. So friends, thanks so much, and I will catch up with you next time. Bye.